Just Jake here to go over my latest mod, which actually is based off of the Thermal Hunter. I teased a couple of pictures on Facebook, and I hadn't even come up with a name for it at the time, but what I'm going to call this is Aqua. Of course, lending to that nice light blue color. Now, what this is a Thermal Hunter with the full internal modification, plus on top of that a 4-color Hydrodip. And it's not a hydro film. This is actually a swirl dip, and I'll show you a quick. I opened up with a quick little bit going over it, but I'll take it and show you both sides here. As you can see, they actually are quite unique per side. This side here, the right side of the shell, has far more orange and deep colors, whereas this is more of a blue with a nice dark gray swirl there. I actually love how that turned out from all sides, even going down to the handle. And again, with the Thermal Hunter shell, Busby has the pieces here that you can pop out from the inside, and I left them alone, as you can see there, including the handle. I don't have a stock on yet because I'm going to actually use a Busby Thermal Hunter 2 Nerf adapter, and I'm still waiting on that. The guys over at France Foamworks are actually going to make me a couple of those for not only this build, but for a couple other Thermal Hunter interceptors. And I told them just to take their time on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and dip a white worker stock to coordinate with the rest of this, which is a light blue, orange, and then light and dark grays. I'm just going to do a same sort of dip to keep that going. And then I'm going to do like a black foam cushion wrap on the end of it, and that'll complete this build entirely. But what it is running on is actually a upgraded 8.2 kilogram spring with a brass breech. See if we can't come on in here and get close. There, you can see the brass breech running in there. Nice little shine. And currently with full length, Busby Precise Pros is hitting in the 140s. And it does prime smoothly. I have actually trimmed the magwell to be able to accept drums. And nice solid pop to the function on this. Actually, personally, this is going to be one of my primaries. I have been using right here. This is a modified interceptor running off of a, I believe it was an 8 kilogram spring or 7 kilogram spring. And I've been using this now for about 2 or 3 years. And it's time to add in, also have another Thermal Hunter behind it. It was time to add in a full custom one. And this thing, I just absolutely have become infatuated with the swirl dips. And I have no fewer than 5 blasters that I am starting or finishing with full-on dips like this and brass breeches. But this is the first one of a few, and I just wanted to do a kind of, I know it's kind of a little show-off video, but just to let you guys know out there that, hey, I am actually doing mods and working on these, even though I've been kind of hush-hush. But being able to have a few new primary-worthy blasters is going to be very handy for something I have coming up when things are permitted to go back to having events. But this is one I will actually be fielding. So if you guys actually do live anywhere close enough that when the time is right, I'll make the proper announcement. But this is one I will actually personally be fielding in events in the future. And as everybody knows, I am a Busby fanatic, and one of my top 5 all-time favorite blasters is the Thermal Hunter and Interceptor shell, which, I mean, they're the same exact blaster, just one's blue, one's red, one came with a thermal sight, one came with a whole bunch of other accessories. And this is going to be a very fun primary. And again, it hits in the 140s with Busby Precise Pros, which is typically what I use along with worker full lengths. I was getting in the 130s with worker full lengths and men guns. So that's more than capable, because local events are capped at 150 feet per second for me. So this hits right up there. And with the brass breech, it's very, very consistent on its performance. And I just absolutely love it. 2 more shots there. And as you can see, very smoothly functioning. On the it's an 8.2 kilogram spring that's available through out of darts as well as through NF Strike. And with my current experiences with NF Strike, I've got a total of $300 worth of stuff, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and they flat out lied to me. So I will put a link to Luke's out of dart store where you can get that exact same 8.2 kilogram spring. I've seen he started carrying it, so that will be where I get it from the future, or for the future. But that's going to be the spring I start to use in my Busby builds. It has a little more punch to it than the 7 kilogram spring that they've been putting out, and I found it to be very inexpensive. And from what I can tell, I don't see hardly any flex so far. I've tested this now about 100 shots, and the Thermal Hunter priming rod, and so you can see I'm actually checking in there. The priming rod there, that's the white moving back and forth, doesn't seem to flex too much under the load of the 8.2 kilogram. So for longevity of the blaster itself, I think that that's going to be a very wise choice of spring for Busby builds. Now, I do believe this could handle a 9 kilogram with maybe a little reinforcement, like place a, say, an alloy rod on the back side of the priming rod to give it a little extra meatiness to it. But as is, I think that that 8.2 kilogram is going to be my go-to spring for the future. And I'll just start getting it from Luke at Out of Darts, because I do believe I've seen that on his store last time I was on there shopping. But this is the Aqua Hunter, I'm going to call it, instead of Thermal Hunter. But I absolutely love those colors, and I love how the paint job turned out. That is actually, it is 3 coats of a white primer, a nice swirl of 4 colors. That's the blue, orange, and then light and dark gray. That's gunmetal gray as well as just a light gray. And then I clear coated it with 3 coats of clear coat. But I think that that's going to be quite fun to use. And now I just got to wait for the little finishing touch, which will be the stock adapter to allow me to run Nerf style stocks, which I am going to dip a worker stock, which I have this style. I'm probably going to run this style of stock just to coordinate with this, or one of the metal, which I actually have, pardon me for a second here, have one of these on my Sonic Ice Retaliator. That's my other choice. I haven't decided fully on which. I may actually lean towards this style, because I do like those metal bars. I think that would actually suit this really well. But that might be what I go with. But for now, as I set that back down, this is my mod Aqua. 140 foot per second brass breech Busby Thermal Hunter with a full swirled Hydrodip. Very fun to use, and fully cross-compatible with Nerf drums. Definitely a primary worthy blaster that I will be fielding in the future. But hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.